and we're going to see that pre-ban first. Igor ES is probably going to alternate pre-bans from that Nephthys, and maybe actually not onto an Artemel, because Artemels are not that great in this meta anymore. So I kind of see that Nephthys being pre-banned, and that's exactly what we see, Nephthys and Gianna being pre-banned by the two players. And Tree's going to first pick and likely go with the Hathor.
Yep, I think he's going to be picking a Hathor as well, taking that away from Igor. You nailed it with the pre-bans, and let's see if we'll nail it with this first pick coming out of Tree as well, and we do. Tree is going to be drafting that Hathor. Igor looking to respond, as we've seen Ganny Franz coming out, Ciara Franz, Ciara Ganny in this case with Igor.
Ciara Ganny from Igor because he favors that more aggressive lineup. I would hate to see a Molly pick here. I think a Molly pick would be very bad into Ciara, so I think Tree needs to kind of adjust. I would like to see something addresses the speed of this draft. So some sort of a Vanessa. Chi-Wu is a great unit, but then Chi-Wu with Ileana is a bit odd because that Ileana is a immunity giver and that Chi-Wu is also an AoE stripper, so there's no damage from Tree's side yet. So while he may cycle a lot of turns, these turns don't do very much. And if I'm Igor, I'm looking to see Barbara's coming from him, maybe Okeanos's, maybe Daphnis's, something on the that shows aggression that we've seen from him in the previous matches.
Yeah, real quick, guys, just so you all know, we are experiencing high heats here in the studio. There is a small chance we may actually be losing power. I just want you all to know that if the stream does go down, we should be back up, but if we do lose power, there is a chance that happens. So just letting you guys know about that right now.
Well, this looks like a long game coming up here, so we may, hopefully our power generator can hold up here. Tree going with that Savannah, going with the Artemel pick here. Interesting note here, so we may actually see the Jaeger being banned out from Tree here. This is what it signifies to me. I mean, Jaeger being very good against pretty much every single unit on Tree side. So Igor needs to make a great pick knowing that his Jaeger is going to be gone.
Well, here we go. Igor wrapping up his draft here with this last pick after seeing a Savannah and Ada for Tree.
So if I'm Igor here, I'm looking for, going for a Josephine. So obviously a Hathor still on the field. I would have liked to see some sort of a ban on the Ileana and go for an AoE like an Asuma or something like that, knowing that your Jaeger is going to be pre-banned. Either way, it doesn't matter. It goes with the Josephine. Tree's going to take out most likely that Jaeger. Josephine's already weak to Savannah, so I can see Savannah being the ban from Igor's side when you take a water unit like that. But I still think this draft favors Tree here because of that Artemel and how well Rune it is.
Nope, let's see where the ban's coming out here. Can Igor handle that Ada? He's going to be letting it through. Jaeger getting banned on Igor's side of the field. Savannah getting banned on Tree's side of the field.
As predicted, those are the two bans coming out from the players here. Igor does not have healing on his team, so Tree's going to be able to slowly wear him down with this Artemel unless Igor's able to land bombs and nuke something off the bat.
All right, guys, going into round one between Tree and Igor. Once again, if we do lose power, we're going to do our best to get this stream right back up for you guys. So please be prepared if this does happen. Here we go, guys. We've got Tree, we've got Igor, and Igor is going to be taking first turn with this Ganny.
Igor's going to be able to take first turn with this Ganny. Probably just going to need to use that skill here.
And the reset does go out onto the Chi-Wu. Hathor looking to put somebody to sleep here. Does not get the sleep onto that Veladrul.
Less than 50% chance to hit it, but does get a second shot and does have skill 3 up.
And Daily Promise is coming out. Gets the sleep onto everybody except that Josephine.
So at this point here, Tree just needs to take out this Josephine. So Tree's going to have 4 units on 3, but doesn't have defense break, not a lot of burst.
Josephine with the provoke onto the Ileana. Looking for not a sleep onto that Josephine. Josephine with the turn stun onto the Chi-Wu. Gets the attack break from that Hathor. Glancing does land, not stunning up that Ileana though.
And that attack break is huge on that Josephine because once Josephine has attack break, it doesn't do very much.
That's right. Possibly looking for another stun out here on the Hathor or maybe that Ileana.
Yeah, and if I'm Igor, I'm actually very, very scared here because I don't have a healer. I need to be able to sustain this damage.
There's that Despair stun coming out onto Josephine. Really needed to put that down there to stop this unit from getting any sort of turns or any sort of control for Igor's side of the field.
Absolutely. Needs as much control as he can get because he does not have healing on his side. That Josephine's actually taking quite a lot of damage here, and that health will not be restored.
Yep, Hathor, a little bit of poke damage coming towards Ciara. Ada looking to take advantage of that Ciara as well, not getting that Despair stun.
Not getting the Despair stun, and Ciara actually took a big chunk of damage here. But again, I think Tree's going to need to be able to do more damage. Does not have a defense breaker, so it's going to be a long match that we see.
Yep, looks like Igor tried not to crit by going after Chi, who crit anyways. Ada just applying more damage with that passive.
Actually, that Sierra's already past half health, so that Sierra might be done in another wave of turns. So actually, Tree looking quite strong and still has immunity up.
Ooh, big despair stun going out onto Ganymede, proccing the passive of that Josephine. Josephine can't get a stun on anybody.
Josephine's definitely going to need to get a few procs here because he does not have the ability to strip anything.
And Hathor looking for a strip here, possibly looking to sleep the Sierra.
Decides to try to sleep that Sierra, but does not get it. But at the same time, does not really matter because all Tree needs to do is slowly take out units. Tree has the healing. He has the better long-term comp. Needs to take out the burst damage, and that is Sierra.
Oof, look at that damage coming in from Ada right on top of Sierra. And going to see an immunity get pushed up here with Veladrul.
Yeah, and at this point here, Tree is actually going to be losing immunity soon, so Sierra's going to drop this bomb, and that's going to be a lot of damage onto a unit that is mainly defense.
And Igor really needs this bomb to land. This is not a time where he wants it to resist. Gets that bomb to land, and it could get cleansed up. I think he's going to be detonating it here. I think he wants to stun this unit up, get the damage out when he can.
Definitely wants to do the damage, because if he auto-attacks, he's going to be eating a revenge proc, so he does detonate. That's a lot of damage.
Lot of damage, and a big stun on that Ada as well. The only sustain unit Tree does have.
The question, though, is that can that Sierra survive another wave of hits? And I'm not sure. That's honestly quite squishy. Lu's taking a lot of damage at this point. Chiwu does do a lot of damage typically, so I think we're going to see Tree go for the kill.
Yep, he's trying to do it here. Going right after that CR. Is Chiwu going to have enough here? Gets the strip and finishes the CR. Not looking good for Igor. He needed that unit to be alive.
Not looking good for Igor, but if he's able to down that Artemel, Igor will be in a good spot here. So he actually goes for the provoke, but needs to take out Artemel.
Gets that strip provoke onto the Ileana. Ileana not getting stunned up by the return. Vela possibly looking at a huge punishment onto Ada. He has to drop this unit.
And I think Igor noted that the Ileana is squishy, decides to continue on Artemel. Great choice there, but again, that Artemel is quite tanky, and it's going to take a lot of shots to take it down.
It is Ganny looking for the glancing, does get that glancing onto Ada. We see the third scale strip coming out, does not get the strip onto that Veladrul.
Yeah, and this Hathor needs to land the attack break onto that Josephine, because Josephine does do quite a lot of damage. Artemil, I think, still has the heal up, so that's what Tree is looking for.
Yep. Ooh, Hathor not getting that attack break onto the Josephine. We might be seeing a boost up here on the Ada to heal up.
Either boost on the Arda or boost on itself to give invincibility. Decides to go with boost on the Arda because that's safer, heals itself, and with Igor not having a defense break, I don't think there's a way he can get through Tree's team.
That's right. We're going to see some stuns, a little bit of control coming out of Igor. Can he get the stun? Does get that stun on Ada. Ganymede going to be resetting possibly that Hathor. Drop the attack bar.
And at this point here, Igor needs to find a way to down this Artemil. That's a big attack bar dump coming out from that Ganymede.
Choose to go for the reset on the Ileana. You can see Vela might be pummeling damage into this Ileana. He did realize how soft this unit was.
Exactly, realized how it's soft, and also Chiwu is a damage dealer, so he should be pumping in damage into the Chiwu, but instead decides to go after Artemil.
I think Ganymede really needs to ventilate either that Josephine, keeping that passive up, maybe even ventilate that Veladrul. Does ventilate the Veladrul. Veladrul's going to have punishment coming up soon.
Yeah, and at this point here, Igor is pumping damage on Artemil, recognizing that it's a threat, but I think Igor's best chance to win is to continually stun that Artemil, which is not happening.
Ooh, Hathor looking for that skill 2 sleep on the Vela, not receiving it here. Ooh, Ileana can actually push up that Hathor. Hathor's going to get a skill 3, put everybody to sleep here before Vela got immunity up.
So great show of manipulation by Tree, able to use that Ileana very effectively. And again, Igor does not have burst from this Josephine, so Tree's going to be able to wear it down and slowly take advantage.
Josephine looking for a stun onto the Ileana, probably trying to take this unit down as quick as possible. Nice skill 2, strip that shield on top of the Josephine, and does get that strip.
Does get that strip, and if he lands that attack break, that Josephine's not going to do very much.
That wind unit cannot get an attack break on this water unit for the life of it. Ileana does get that glancing.
Unlucky, but at the same time, Josephine does not do enough damage to be able to take out any unit here. Tree's just going to slowly wear his opponent down.
Great stun on the Ada. It's just one turn less to losing that Josephine from Ada.
Just one turn less, delaying the inevitable, enjoying his time in SWC.
See the skill 3 for the Neostone Agent coming out, the invincibility back on Ada. Josephine is probably going to be dropping here.
Josephine's going to be dropping from this Artemil, and then Tree is basically going to hit the auto button, kick his feet up, but probably not because this is an elimination matchup.
There it is. Ada drops Josephine, And that's massive damage from Chiwu onto Ganymede. Massive damage.
Massive damage, and unfortunately, Igor, yes, not able to recognize that Chiwu is a damage dealer in this matchup. So trying to go after Artemel too much kind of punished him here, and at this point, Igor needs to regroup and figure out what he needs to do to stay alive in this tournament.
Out of dropping that Ganymede, it's just a lonely Vela. I think he's going to keep playing it. I guess he would just go for a skill 3 to stop the sleeps, or does he go for punishment and take advantage of this Ada? He's going to go for a skill 3.
Goes for the skill 3, but again, skill 3 is not going to do very much. That's a lot of damage coming out from Chiwu.
That is a lot of damage coming from Chiwu. I would love to see how this Chiwu looks, because this thing really pummels in a lot of damage.
And Tree taking his sweet time. We might have seen some emotes in the back here, and then finally lays in that hit there and wins this one.
Yep, there you have it. Round 1 going to Tree over Igor. Well played, Tree.
Well played, Tree, and unfortunately, Igor not able to take out any of Tree's units. Tree having that healing, that sustain, able to just wear his opponent down with that Artemel, that Ileana just slowly taking advantage of that situation, and Igor just without the strip, without a good strip and the ability for that Sierra to sink in, just couldn't do very much.
Nope, not at all. You can see the pre-bans from last round. Nephthys, Gianna were pre-banned out. First picks going to Igor this time.
First pick going to Igor, and I think Tree is likely going to pre-ban maybe the Asuma, maybe the Jaeger. I think Jaeger's going to be a good pre-ban. And at the same time, I think Igor is probably just going to pre-ban the Artemel. You're going to see an LD swap on the pre-bans, and we're going to see Igor continue his aggressive route.
Well, I hope he does. I think that's what he needs to beat Tree here, but Tree just needs to continue drafting appropriately. There's the Hathor ban for Igor and the Asima ban for Tree.
So as predicted, Tree does take out one of the LD units of Igor, but Tree will be fighting a Gianna here. So we're going to see Igor likely take a Gani first, which synergizes very well with that Gianna later. This can also be a Sierra, but I don't see Tree taking Sierra very often, so I think I favor Gani here. Goes with the Sierra, as we've seen, Tree's going to instantly snap pick that Gani, which synergizes so much better with that Ileana and everything else he uses.
Yeah, that's right. I think Igor definitely should have taken that Gani away from Tree. But Tree obviously had to take that Gani away from Igor.
And at this point here, Tree going with the Molly pick here.
Disappointed to see the Molly.
Well, Molly may notch its first victory, but when your opponent first picks a Sierra, Molly's generally very weak. If I'm Igor, I abuse this. I'm thinking Tessarians. Oki's also decent. Tree does not have immunity yet, so even an Okeanos is good. Daphnis is still acceptable. We're going to look to see Igor get very aggressive. Gianna's probably popping out here. It's probably going to be some sort of a Gianna, or I guess not, and probably a Chiwu Savannah with the Gianna later.
I do like the Savannah Chiwu. I think that's a great draft here from Igor. Tree looking to draft that Nephthys, which Igor cannot respond to right now.
And Tree needs to respect the fact that there's a second AoE stripper in Gianna coming later, so he needs to find a way to deal with this Savannah. Almost needs to start drafting as if he was banning a damage dealer and letting 2 AoE strips come out, because there's a little bit of dyssynergies when the 2 come out. So he actually goes with the Vertihile, which is kind of interesting because Tree represents so little damage here that I think Igor can just go straight damage and aggression and probably take this game.
I think that's exactly what Igor needs to do. We saw him do this before against Severus. I don't see why he shouldn't do that now. If we see the aggression coming from Igor, we might be seeing this turn 2 cop from Tree going down.
I would like to see some sort of an Okeanos Gianna here, or a Barbara Gianna. Oh, and a Tian Lang. I love this unit. This is a very powerful unit. The passive gains allows the Tian Lane to gain attack bar as your opponent gains attack bar, and also shrinks the amount of attack bar they gain. Very strong LD unit. We know for sure that Vertihile's left in the field, and it also kind of preemptively bans out that Artemel. So Tree cannot take that Arta, but again, Igor does not have any healing on this side, so Tree needs to find a way to live and slowly take advantage of this situation. But there are 2 Beast Riders on the field. Goes with that Rika last pick, and I think Rika is the force ban here.
Yep, Rika is definitely the force ban. Igor does not have a respond for that Rika. Doesn't have a respond for that Nephthys either.
And I think Chiwu might have to be the ban from Tree's side, but I really don't like Tree's situation here. We know Rika's being banned out here, but it's either that Tian Lang or that Chiwu being banned out, but there's so much damage coming out from 2 Beast Riders and a Sierra.
Yeah, I'm surprised we saw that Molly coming back again. I think he just really wants to get Molly that victory. I don't know, not too sure, but we're going to see Igor. Barbara's going to be the unit to ban. Rika, obviously the unit to ban on Tree's side of the field. Igor looking much more aggressive than Tree.
Yeah, and Tree's Vertihile needs to be a triple revenge Verd, otherwise he's going to be in a tough spot. And even if it is triple revenge, Igor's got a TN lane to back him up.
That's right, 24 speed lead for both players here. I'm not too sure who's going to be taking first turn. I would imagine that Chiwu is going first, and it is. And nobody's on Will.
And Vertihile has to be triple revenge. If you look at the attack bars, that Verd has to be triple revenge. So if I'm Igor, I am not taking this risk here, and I'm not using skill 3.
Went for skill 1, hoping to get that nice RNG sleep onto that Ganymede. Ganymede looking to dump attack bars and reset that CR.
Good show of patience from Igor, and knows that this game is quite long here. Now has that Savannah, is going to be able to use skill 3 here, or actually can decide to go skill 2 and lay some damage in.
Yep, I think his unit of focus might be that Nephthys trying to remove that unit. Goes for the AoE, but the revenge of Verd comes into play.
And this Tianlang should do a lot of damage if he chooses to use skill 2. Those artifacts can add a lot to Tianlang here, so we'll see what Igor favors, and he does go for it.
Goes with that second skill, deals a lot of damage to everybody, obviously stuns up that Nephthys.
And that Nephthys is almost at half health. Past half health, that's a lot of damage, 1,500 per hit.
A lot of damage for sure. You can see the cleanse and shield coming up from Molly on top of that Nephthys, and this is where no immunity play for Igor. Nephthys is going to take advantage of his team, get the silence, the glancing, the heal blocks, the defense breaks, everything from that Nephthys.
And that Chiwu lands a giant sleep onto the Ganymede.
Huge sleep. Great RNG sleep coming out of Igor with that Chiwu onto the Ganymede. He's going to be down for 2 turns. Unit of focus once again is going to come back to this Nephthys.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to focus on this Nephthys and actually not touch the Vertihile, because the Vertihile's on triple revenge here, and Igor is not going to be able to throw up any skills with that silence up.
Well, you can see the additional turn coming out. Bomb might be planted onto the Vertihile.
Definitely needs to plant the bomb, because that Molly does not have a shield up, so plants a bomb and it's going to be able to get rid of glancing here. So it's going to be a lot of damage coming out from this Ciara.
Yep, choose to put that bomb on the Vertihile. Vertihile almost at half health already. If that bomb does detonate, we might be losing the Verd.
I think he needs to be patient, because Molly does not have that shield up, so Igor needs to be patient and get a lot of damage from that auto attack from that Ciara.
All right, you can see the defense break possibly coming out with this Tianlang. Does not get that defense break onto the Nephthys.
Pretty unlucky not to get that defense break, because had it landed, that's a lot of damage being pumped into that Nephthys.
That is. We are going to see a skill 2 going on in Nephthys, trying to strip that shield, I want to say.
I think we're going to see that as well, and if this Molly does not proc, it's not going to be able to shield up this Vertihile here.
Ooh, choosing to go for damage on Vertihiles. The Vertihile going to revenge, does not revenge.
Molly might actually have it shield up, but Vertihile, if it is able to, no, does not have it up. And actually, that's a lot of healing coming out on the Verd side here, but Igor should be able to snipe out this Verd very soon.
Ooh, Molly with the additional turns, almost fully healing up this Vertihile.
That's giant proc there. Basically brings that Vertihile up to full health here. And you see Igor with his timer running out super fast, means he ran out of time earlier.
Yep, chose to go after that Nephthys. And we can have Ciara here looking to cycle a little bit of attack power. Why going for the Vertihile? The Vertihile's going to revenge.
I don't know why he chose to do that. If he had autoed something else, that Ciara would still move in front. Going after that Vertihile, not sure about those plays here. Igor had this match, but decided he didn't want it.
I guess not. Looking at an attack break silence from Nephthys. This is going on CR to keep up with that attack break. CR's not going to be able to get a bomb out here.
So those are huge heals from the Molly, but Igor really had this still in a very good spot here. That defense break from the Tianlang and the auto attack from that Ciara is going to be able to provide so much damage.
Shield coming out for the Vertihile. You can see the revent back onto the Molly. Molly's going to have that shield cleanse once again. Chiwu possibly looking for a strip to remove that shield from the field.
I think Chiwu needs to avoid touching that Verd again, but he decides to risk it.
Risks it, strips the shield, and the revenge comes out for that Vertihile.
And I think Igor needs to go for stuns here, because his opponent is taking a lot of turns and healing a lot.
Goes for broke, only gets a stun onto the Ganymede. No revenge proc coming out of Vertihile.
Goes for broke, does not get anything here, but Igor does not have a lot of damage coming up. Silence on that Ciara, no skills up on that Savannah.
No, none whatsoever. Nothing's happening with Ciara here unless the additional turn possibly comes out. Skill 1 focus might be on the Molly now that the Molly's low.
I think he's focusing that Molly. Again, that Ciara actually not a lot of damage, not great artifacts on it. Only 900 per hit. Usually you see a little bit more here. Igor's still in a great spot. I mean, his units still have great health, and Tree is actually under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, Tree definitely under a lot of pressure. He wants to keep up that attack break and the silences, not allowing any bombs to go through. Might see a second skill come out with Molly, keeping up with those shields. He might be holding on to it for the bombs. Chooses not to hold on to it. Does go with the shield on top of Vertihile.
And I think Igor, yes, needs to just chip away and find a way to down a unit. All the damage is spread out so evenly, and I think he should have just focused one unit here.
Ooh, Chiwu not landing that 2-turn sleep on top of the Nephthys. Vertiheal looking to pump more damage into this Tian Lang, cycling a little bit of attack bar, but also pushes that Tian Lang forward as well.
And actually, Igor, yes, is going to have 3 units moving in front of Tree, so if he lands a defense break, we may see a unit on Tree side going down.
Yeah, Tian Lang really needs that defense break, gets that defense break. Savannah lined up to remove this Nephthys from the field. Igor needs to get this kill.
Igor taking his time here, praying to RNG. Does he land?
Does not get the kill on the Nephthys. Nephthys go for the curse. The beautiful lands on everybody. Nothing's going to stop that from going through. And Ciara looking to cycle, maybe even drop this Nephthys.
He's attack broken Ciara, so might not be able to drop that Nephthys.
Does not get the initial turn. Bomb is coming out.
That's a huge proc here because he can drop that bomb and then detonate it and also kill the Nephthys in the process. Igor might be emoting there. He's taken a long time to do his moves here.
Does the bomb on the Vertiheal can detonate this, and then he's going to be removing the Nephthys from the field. Vertiheal does not drop just yet. Glancing, coming out onto that light panda, gets the additional turn as well. Oh, he is staying alive. Tian Lang is not dropped, and Molly's going to finish it off.
And actually, we might see Tree being able to take out the Sierra. If Sierra goes down, Tree's actually in a good spot. Molly needs proc a couple of times here.
Chiwu crossing his fingers for RNG sleep, not receiving it. Vertiheal pummeling more damage on top of this Savannah. We're going to see a reset going on to Ciara and dumping attack bars on everyone.
I think we're going to see that, and I actually really like Tree's spot here. Tree is able to climb back. That Molly might get its first victory.
There is the reset. First skill, Molly taking Savannah right off the beast with the additional turn, healing up the team. Vertiheal looking to drop this Savannah that's defense broken. Vertiheal drops that Savannah, looking extra good for Tree right now.
Tree looking so strong, and that Sierra's about to go down here.
Yep, Ciara just barely holding on right now. Can Ciara get that additional turn for the bomb? I'm not too sure that bomb damage will be enough. A lot of time has passed, though.
A lot of time has passed indeed, but again, Tree has that Molly. That's a lot of healing. I don't know why Igor was punching that Verd in the face so much earlier, punching his way to join Twitch chat for the remainder of this tournament. It's exactly what he was doing.
That's exactly what's happening right now, and there you have it. Tree taking round 2 away from Igor.